can love you? No possible way. On the other hand, you take 10 people, strap them to the wall, and you do like what happened to this guy that was killed in the other country. Start chopping their fingers off. They're going to love you? You can make them hate you easily. Somebody standing against the wall, you smack them right away, they're going to start hating you. I mean, you can make people hate you, but you can't make people love you. And I think that's sad. It should be the opposite way around. We should be able to make people love us rather than hate us. The world would be incredible if that was true. But it's not. So look at the facts. Look at the truth. Try to find the truth. If you don't know it, keep searching for it. It's there. It'll always be there. Now, do you want to understand God? Can you talk to God? What are you talking to if you do? A loving, compassionate being, which is what you were told it is? It isn't. No, it's not. Whether you want to admit that to yourself or not, face it. We have many chances in life to take a greater step and become something better. We hold on to what we're programmed to believe, like, oh, you have to have a family, you have to have a child, and all that. Well, my aunt was young, and she was an incredible artist. Disney saw her work and asked her to come to Disney World to be an artist for him. She was young. She could have. I don't know how much she was in tune with her boyfriend at the time. Turned it down. All right. Got married. Had sex one time. Had a child. Never had sex again. Do you think her life was happy and fulfilled? Her son stayed with them forever. He still lives in the same house by himself. Everybody else died. Or do you think by being able to let go of what she was told was what had to be or what should be, and open the door for something new that could have totally changed who and what she was and what she did? See, we hold on to the wrong programs. We hold on to the wrong lies. Or I should say we hold on to all the lies and don't look for the truth. Do I have all the truth? Yes. Can I give it to you? No. I could give you some of it. Is that ego? To you it is, because you don't know any truth. Well, most people have a very small speck of truth, what it really is, what it means, and what's behind it all. What is God? Answer that. Prove it to yourself, understand it, and know it. And then suddenly you're going to be able to say, well, I know the truth now. Talking to God is the most ridiculous concept. And for people to go out there and brainwash people and say, well, I talk to God, and he said we just have to love each other. That's delusional. It's the program that infected his morals, which he has none. Because the morals is you need to deal with the truth only. You can't deal with the lies. The programmed idea of God, which I do every once in a while, which we'll do again, because that's one thing I want people to really listen to and think about. Because in your room, or wherever you are, out on the beach, a park, wherever, think about God. Not what the Bible says, not what your mother said, not what your father said, not what other people said. What do you know about God? Nothing. Now, go to the second step. What do you feel about God? Well, I feel he loves me. Why? Because you were programmed to think that. Go beyond that now. What do you know about God? Well, I know it's real. How do you know it's real? I got this feeling that says it's real. Okay, now, that's a starting point. Because now you're going deeper inside yourself, truly understanding that something between you and God exists. Whatever that is can grow. Being aware of that can make that grow. Are you willing to step in that space? Or would you rather hear an alien come over and land on your yard, come knocking on your door and say, hey, come on a ship, we're going to teach you all about God. And expect their truth to be important to you. They're coming to this planet in 2018. For what reason? They could have came here in the year 1. They could have came here in the year 100 or before Christ and before those dates and made it a better place if they could have, and they didn't. Are people aware to look at the time frame? I mean, not the exact time, not what the government says is the time frame, but the time frame that you can perceive. Well, aliens were always here. And what were they doing? What good things did anybody ever do? Ever. Other than Jesus. Seriously. And I'm not promoting the Bible. What he did is not in the Bible. He taught people how to leave their bodies and travel in the inner worlds and all that. That has nothing to do with the Bible. So don't compare the Bible as, to what I'm saying, spiritual truth to a religion. They don't fit together. They're not the same. They're totally different. One's reality of the physical realm. One's reality of the spiritual realm. Two separate realms. And most people in the physical reality can't get into the spiritual reality or realm. They don't deserve to. Oh, we're all equal. We all deserve what? What did you do for God ever? What makes you think you're better than anybody? What makes you think you have the right to deserve anything? When a woman loses a child, it's hard to imagine what that is. I'm not going to go into my past lives. That I was a woman and I also had birth happen and something happened as well. But understanding that, to lose something that you realize life and something different, compare that to reality. What do you know about life? Well, I can go out and buy a milkshake and have a steak dinner and watch a movie and go play sports, but I got to go to work tomorrow. I mean, what's different about that? What's important about that? Well, we all have to work. For what reason? Why are you working? Soul can live without eating for a long period of time, if it wants to, if it had to. When you see these survivors, 2 days and they're dying, the mentality of awareness is limited. Soul doesn't need food, but the mind says, oh, you're out of food, you're dying. The mind controls us aging, becoming younger. It controls everything. I'm just amazed I lived to the point where I'm at now. I didn't want to live this old ever. Everybody I knew that was this old, I said, oh, they're old. So I looked in the mirror and said, man, I'm old. Do I want to stay here much longer? Why? To see a beautiful world. It's not going to happen soon. We gotta go. We're going down. Like, take a snowball, roll it down a mountain. It's not even halfway down to the bottom where it hits the bottom. We're not ready for that explosion yet. Even we're getting there. We keep moving faster and faster, but we're not there yet. Do I want to see it again? No. Do I want to be there afterwards? No. When I was a native in a past life, I was on Wounded Knee. And when they slaughtered us, I was one of the people that left to stay and protect the women. All right? The tribe was out fighting, and they left. So the village was pretty well unsupported. But they came in and started killing all the women and children. I got killed. So how do you justify, well, I was a good person or I was a bad person? I did what I could, but I still got killed. Killed it. It was horrible. And to see it going down. When you hear these rape stories and the husband or the boyfriend was tied up and forced to watch and things, sick reality we're living in. Sick world. Sick people. Children going to school with guns to blast people apart. Where does that come from? Iraq? Barack's just sitting there. He's not grabbing any weapons to do anything. He's not trying to. It's not trying to. But then to say, well, compare that to what you know about God. You don't know nothing about God, so you can't compare it to it. How do you compare what you don't know to what something is when you don't know what that something is? If you know God, you know truth. And there is no truth without God. So it's a contradictory to most people. Well, I don't believe in God. Well, you don't believe in the truth then. To believe mankind can move forward with its own ignorance, 7.4 billion people will be at, they're saying, 10 to 20 by 2030. I think by 2025 we'll already be at 10 billion. If the world survives, which I don't think it's going to make it that far. It can't. It would change the vibration of the whole reality if it went that far. But we're too sick of a race to get that far. If you don't think the weather wars are happening, earthquakes are being forced, and all these things, chemtrails, and do you know they started chemtrails in the 50s? Do people understand? No, it was already designed that they could actually make it rain in places and stop it and do different things by lacing the sky with chemicals and things. So it's an old theory, reinforced by new things of putting things in these trails that they can use with the HARP system. All technology that Tesla brought out based on the alien friends he worked with. So is that spiritual at any level? No. Was he one of the most greatest minds? No. Was Einstein? No. Einstein worked with aliens as well. Realize these people went to the same schools. And for somebody to come out like he did and come out with 200 inventions, I mean, Tesla came out with the first radio. Nothing even close to the idea of it, and he came out with the idea of how it works and made it. I know I was 12, and I got my first radio. It was a clip that you clipped on a piece of metal, and you put the earphone in your ear, and you slide the spaceship's antenna up and down to get the different channels. But it worked. And there was no power to it other than clipping on the metal. Did Tesla invent that? Yes, he did. That's how the first radio was built. So technology came out of somewhere. And was it spiritual? No. Most things that men invent are useless in any important way. Oh, it makes things easier. Anything to make things easier is what the human race wants to build and create. I want a car that drives me all around and I don't have to do a thing. Well, then why drive? What do you got to get around for? Just put your TV on. You could see any part of the world. You could see space. What do you want to? What do you need to be there for? You want to smell it? Go to Hindus, to the Hindu cities and stuff. How bad they smell. Go to these countries. Go with the poverty. Go with the rats running around on the streets and stuff. Is that what you think is beautiful? Well, the temple isn't beautiful, but they let the rats living in it. I mean, perversions and twisted truth, it grows within religion. And it's also growing with the word spirituality now. Even though they don't perceive it, they perceive there are 6- and 7-dimensional beings or 8-dimensional beings. They're going to keep going up. The more they think they're better, they're going to keep trying to raise that. But they're not. They are not better. No person on this planet is better spiritually in 99% of all people living on this planet. There are a few souls that are. Where do I put myself? I don't brag about where I'm at. I know where I'm at. I don't say I'm spiritual. I've been on a spiritual quest most of my life. I know what spiritual means. So that's a little better than not knowing what it means. Understanding God? I can go there. Is that better than not knowing God? 1,000 times better. Knowing who you're responsible to or what you're responsible to, then not, means your life is useless. If you think you're responsible to yourself, you are. But what is that responsibility to after that, God? If your father gave you a brand new car, you're 21, you just turned 21. Your father brings you in the house, he gives you a can of beer to drink, and he says, okay, your gift's out in the driveway, and there's a new vet outside. Get the keys, go in your car, and start speeding around in your little vet. And then you smash it. Is there any spiritual truth within that? Was there a good thing happening ever?